Red Hood, Outlaw, issue 40-something, is...
44, which I believe was the last issue released. Yeah, it's more Red Hood, isn't it? It's still rough. First thing I noticed was the art. It's obviously we've got Lobdell writing. I'm just trying to find the artist's name. Paolo Pantalina, who has been on the last couple of issues, and I knew immediately it was the same artist because it was the knockoff Roquefort art. From the very first page, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the guy who's not as good as Roquefort, which is really disappointing because once upon a time Roquefort was on this book and looked good. It's a shame, but no, it's following on from the last issue where Jason's not girlfriend, with the stuff with the sword that appeared to her. It turns out she's kind of been possessed, I think, by these Untitled, I think, is that what they were called? The people, I don't know. She's been possessed by by essence, the only human the only human descendant of the old caste people, and she trained Jason, and apparently they were enemies at some point. I don't know. That old cast stuff is all just nonsense. But Jason and Bizarro and the others, they're undercover. They're working with the old man, not Captain America hero from the end of last issue. General Glory, that's what he's called. And he is like a pensioner who used to be a superhero, and they've kind of brought him out of retirement for this special assignment to oversee this mission in Karak, where there's like a potential rebellion. They're trying to get democracy for the first time and actually have a vote, but things might not go as well. So Jason and Bizarro are undercover at like a food stall. They're running like a food van, and Artemis is pretending she's trying to get herself hired as the bodyguard to the colonel, who's like the dictator in chief. But she's undercover, so she's dyed her hair. For whatever reason, because apparently she was super distinctive and everyone knew who she was. But she still goes around and introduces herself as an actual Amazon. That's kind of her credit to get this job is, no, I'm an Amazon. I can fight anyone. And yet she has to be undercover and not be the Amazon that she actually is. I don't know. That seemed really weird to me and kind of pointless. But the colonel wants her to lead his armies because she's that good. And she's like, nope, that's not the deal. But basically, the Untitled have infected all of the crowd. They've infected all the crowd there because of the hope is what they're feeding on. And Jason and Bizarro are going to have to fight their way out. He's summoned his All Blade, and that's kind of the end of the issue. There's again one other random page in the middle somewhere, probably about 2/3 through. No, sorry, it's 2 pages, which is Margun with Mala and the Brain. It's basically her just talking to the Brain and Mala being a bit jealous. That's it. That's the 2 pages. It adds nothing. I don't know why we're teasing this so. It's been completely drip fed. Like, oh, it's 1 page here, 2 pages there, and it feels so irrelevant that it's not adding anything to the story. That I would rather just wait and have here's 6-7 pages of gun stuff at some point when it's relevant and have some advancement in it, because what's happening in this just isn't. It just feels like shit, we're 2 pages short on the page count, just throw in some pages of gun. That'll do. That's the way it comes across. It's really frustrating. So yeah, that's that. It's a solid 3 out of 10.